Hi, everyone. My name's Isla Brock, and this is Most Things Hypnosis with me, yours truly, your host, Isla Brock. I'm coming to you from just a very beautiful day in Visalia, California. Yes, I'm donning my cowboy hat today. You ever just have one of those days where it's just a bad hair day? So I did. I tried to highlight my hair. Sorry, my laptop is on my lap because, it's a laptop. Anyway, I highlighted my hair today and it didn't quite turn out. So yes, I will be wearing a cowboy hat for the next 3 days, unless I can fix it today. It'd be tonight. Yeah, it was just a very bad highlight job and it's my own fault. And I've never done it before, and a good product, just I didn't do it right. So it ended up being pure white through here. Well, okay, here and here and here. Anyway, the highlight didn't turn out the way I'd hoped. So I've got things, and you can see a little bit of, what I got going here, and I got a bandana on in case my hat falls off. Anyway, what is that all about? Well, it's all about uh just telling you and, babbling and just, that kind of thing. I'm not going to be very long today because I actually have I do have another Zoom. I'm going to be a while for some colleagues on marketing Zoom. Anyway, so I'm hoping that on my fancy jewelry and flowery blouse, my hat will take away from the fact that my hair. But I have a but first. If you're serious about growth, be serious about accountability. If you're serious about abundance, be serious about gratitude. If you're serious about intimacy, be serious about vulnerability. If you're serious about discipline, be serious about delayed gratification. Delayed gratification is like an act of impatience. Some people are just not very patient with themselves, and then they end up, they got to have it now kind of thing. You don't got to have now per se. I'm looking for another, but first, hear me when I tell you, people who ignore you until it suits them talk to you, you are not worth the friendship or their time. That's a friendship thing, and it's true. So are you always making the phone calls? Let's talk about friendships for a minute. Are you always the one making the calls to all of your friends and they don't call you? Stop. See what happens. True friends will go back and forth. Even if months go by, you still bounce it back and forth and you watch out for each other. Or like, hey, 3 months have gone by. I have a girlfriend I went to high school with, and we don't talk every day. We're just really good buddies. And we don't talk daily, but every couple of months we chime in and just kind of see how things are going with each other. And I appreciate her friendship and her wisdom a lot of times. Okay, so I wanted to this one's cute. I don't know if you guys can see that with my blurred. Oh, but you can't see it. Self-hate is over. We are all sexy now. I like that. That's putting it right where it's at. Anyway, we're getting ready today. I think it's the first day of autumn, fall, whatever you want to call it. And yes, now it's time for the pumpkin spice stuff that people want. Okay, like whatever, that's what you want to do. And I don't think it's time to put up your Christmas tree, Santa. Although he has one up year round, and that's just kind of like weird. I think my mom did that too. She had one of those wall Christmas trees, and it was just up all year, and she's plugged in the lights. Like, although it's convenient because it's on the wall and it's kind of pretty, but all year, I don't know. I like to look forward to decorating. Not that I decorate anymore, but if I were to. Oh, speaking of decorating, my office is closing from the 29th through the 3rd, and then reopening on the 4th. We're moving to a new location. Central Valley Hypnotherapy is now becoming a wellness center, and partnering with Maureen Vayette and Harmony Energy. Looking forward as we are exploring and learning and just kicking ass and taking names. It's amazing. We're able to help people on a whole other level than we ever could. I could alone, which I was perfectly content. It's kind of fell in my lap and it fell into hers. And so I'm able to just be able to be that, hopefully that together we can be that kingpin for other people who need help. Now, my new building, it also has handicap access, which I'm really excited about. It's located at 1011 West Center Ave in Visalia, and I should be up and running on the board, subject to change, with notice, I hope. Anyway, that's what's going on with that. I was actually going to do a little bit of humor today. I'm not naturally this person. Oh, that's not where I wanted to go. That's where I wanted to go. I'm naturally not a humorous person. I come up with just things that come out of my mouth just because it was in my head. Sometimes that's really good, and sometimes it's not. I can be kind of offensive. And I was putting my cowboy hat on thinking, because I didn't really have a show planned, any particular theme today, because it was going to be short. There's a lot going on right now in my business, and it's pretty busy, but I always want to be able to come on. I wasn't here 2 weeks ago because I was under the weather. So law of attraction is one of my passions. So I'm going to spend about 8 minutes on that and then call it a day until next week, where I will be giving a Zoom tour of my new place, the new building that I'll be in. Super exciting. So the next most things hypnosis will be, I think, on October 6th, that first Thursday. That's it. Okay, so law of attraction. What is it? How does it work? And why do we need it? Well, law of attraction is, some people say, well, what you manifest is, what you think about. And that's true. While that is true, it's more than that. You have to rid yourself of what you don't want. So what is the energy that you do want? What is the energy that you're holding on to that's not what you want? So you really need to focus and rid yourself of what I call those dots of doubt. So when thought and energy come into alignment, it comes into alignment with your desire. Now, some of your desires may be a little skewed. Maybe you're consciously, or consciously, unconsciously desiring my bills, or how am I going to pay the rent, or how am I going to pay the water bill, or how am I going to make my car payment, or how am I gonna, I need to, I want to, I wish I could, if only. All of that are words of lack. Okay, you got to stay away from lack. The top words of, let's see, want, gonna, someday, hope, desire, in and of themselves, not bad. It can help you establish your goals, but in reality, it's not happening now. Subconscious mind doesn't care. So anything that the subconscious mind does care about brings emotional pleasure. And it doesn't matter if it's good or bad. So whatever you've got going on in your head gets filtered into your subconscious mind. That's what's going to penetrate the frequencies and the energies that come out of you into you to gain what it is you desire. Some people call it prayer. It doesn't matter I don't believe in that. It still happens. Proving it is, you've ever had an opportunity, like you call somebody and they're like, I was just thinking about you. It happened 2 nights ago. I called the client to make sure they were coming because they hadn't confirmed. And she picked up the phone. She's like, whoa, we are on the same connection. I was just thinking about you. Well, your name's in my book, but anyway, but I wanted to make sure everything was okay. Or you call somebody and they say, hey, I was just thinking about you. I had you on my mind. It's a universal law of attraction. I don't speak about it enough, but I do speak about it often. I try to coach people with it. What does it mean and how does it work? So let's personify the subconscious mind. Let's just make it a person, if you will, or an entity outside of you. And it has a job. The job is to protect what's there, and anything that's not there, it's a threat, and it's going to defend what's there. Anything that's there brings emotional pleasure. Good, bad, right, wrong, fact, fantasy, doesn't matter. It's all emotional pleasure to the subconscious mind. And now you're over here in your conscious mind. It's about 12% brain power. I'm going to make this change. I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. This is what I'm doing. Well, how are you going to do X, Y, and Z if you're not thinking about the X, Y, and Z? I'm only checking my messages because somebody wanted to get texting me about my hair. Anyway, so now here's what I want. I want this. This is my desire, my hope. I will, whatever. And over here, subconscious mind doing its job. Over here, you've got now what your goal is. You have to kind of remove yourself, imagining yourself. What's the emotion you're going to feel when that happens? Happy, excited, joy, whatever that emotion is when that happens, imagining that like in your heart, and between every beat of your heart is an emotion. So put it deep inside. Fall in love as if it's happening now. Fall in love with it right now in your mind as if it's happening, and just meditate on that like 3 or 4 times a day for like 5-10 minutes, a little longer if you can. Just focus. Everything else that isn't that needs to just put on the back burner until you just focus on that. What you're doing is you're putting those vibrations out, literally out into the universe. And this is scientifically proven. So if you can focus on one thing for so many seconds or so many minutes, you're changing the vibration around you. Then go about your day. Here's subconscious mind. What you think you're doing? Hey, we don't do that. You're living something in your head that's not happening out here. Why? And you can just tell your subconscious mind to, thank it for trying to protect you. That's its job. It's just doing what it does. Thank you very much. I'm just doing this because I am enjoying it. And you can just keep having this struggle. Subconscious mind's going to keep poking you, hoping that you will go back to the way things were. Comfort zone. Also in my world, we call that homeostasis. Just keeping things exactly the same. Just keep things at baseline. There's some people that are just creatures of habit. Subconscious mind's creature of habit. Change is difficult. It's like unnerving. Ask yourself why. Why would it be hard to make a change? If this is a goal you desire, why would it be difficult? So just make the change. But this tug of war, this poking, this anxiety, this stress that you're being put on by the subconscious mind, it's like, stop poking me, man. Stop, leave it alone. What do you do? Subconscious mind's just like, hey, what do you think you're doing? I'm doing this in my head. Nothing's happening here. You just do your job. I'll do mine. We'll live happily ever after. Ooh, and this will go on for a couple of 2-3 weeks. If you stay in it 3 or 4 times a day, a minimum 10 minutes each time, longer if you can. Just stay in it. Focus on it. And anything that isn't that you desire, just, I'll get back with you later. Just focus. If you miss a day, start your time over. In about 21 days, you're going to see a shift. You're going to feel a shift. No, I'm not saying that there's 100% guarantee, because I don't know I did it and I was removing myself. I'm sorry. If it's not happening within about a 3-week period, you had there was a potential, possibly a potential negativity going on in your head. Hi, Renee. Thanks for joining. You got to catch the beginning of this. It was hilarious. I'm having a bad hair day, and I kind of went through what bad hair day is. Anyway, so back to law of attraction. Law of attraction. Hey, what do you think you're doing? And then you're trying to get to the goal that you want. You're trying to manifest it. You're doing it. You're just focusing on that. You're a few times a day, and subconscious mind just keeps poking at you. Change happens. It doesn't want to struggle. One of the things I can tell you the subconscious mind doesn't like is struggle. It doesn't like conflict. It wants to keep things the same. So you're going to move that comfort zone from where it's been to where you want it. So after a few weeks of just living in it, it will make a choice. Stay in the struggle that it hates. I'm going to have to go along because she's not budging. She's really going for what she wants. And we want to get back to feeling better. Also, another thought on before I actually close this out, I'm only doing a real short thing because next week I'm moving my office in a week. So yay, to bigger places. So what happens is, where's my thought? Hang on, my thought process was, oh my gosh. So you get into, I totally, let me go back to my notes. Let me see, back to my notes. The success happens. I don't remember what I was going to say, but I'm sure it was profound. So when you get back in and then go back into homeostasis, you go back into a new set. It's like a set. Then that you have a new comfort zone, and then you can start, and you can even always thank the subconscious mind. Oh, anxiety. That's what it was. I was going to touch on anxiety for just a minute. So when you're feeling flooded and anxious, and it's a difficult thing to do, but if you can do this and start to be mindful, and maybe a hypnotherapist that can help you get yourself into that mindfulness. But if you can be conscientious of your anxiety, even though it's happening and you feel like crap and your stomach's all in knots and maybe it's in your throat and you're just like getting ready to have an anxiety or panic attack, breathe and tell yourself, okay, I'm going to let this grow. I'm going to let this continue and just let it process. And you're going to ask it right then, what do you need from me? You need something nurturing. You need some compassion. You need something from me to allow this to process so I don't have to be uncomfortable, and you don't have to be uncomfortable anymore. What do you need? And just wait. Just wait with it. Just be confident and wait with it. It'll be comforting. It will be letting it go. Those emotions have to process. And until they process, you can push them down. It's almost like, oh, thanks a lot, man. Now we were almost there. We were almost out. Now that she's pushed us down, we're going to have to try again next time. And how many times do we do that? They start to come up. We don't like the discomfort. Ugh. It's because the subconscious mind's saying it's not a known, it's an unknown. So we're going to bring discomfort. We're going to put the tug of war in. Anyway, so it's allowing that to happen. I heard it's true. Counterfeit money. How does a banker or someone from the Treasury Department or whoever learn about counterfeit money? Because they have to learn what the real thing is. 100% learn what that real thing. Every little nuance of a dollar bill or any of the bills, paper money. They have to know how it feels. So the minute it isn't that, they know it's counterfeit. So I equate that to like our emotions. I don't know. What are you thinking about, Renee? Because my nose is itching. Anyway, the anxiety. So if you live in positivity, let's say you don't have any anxiety as a regular rule, and all of a sudden it starts to creep in, that's an imposter. That's counterfeit to me. Okay. And I know what the real thing feels like. I know what my appreciation feels like. So if it's not my appreciation, it's counterfeit, and I'm going to do what I can in a moment. And it just takes me a moment and it gets it gone. And it just feels good. Okay, you know what? And I've kind of joked about this, but it's somewhat true. I always have these big, huge Yetis of water. I don't have one in front of me now, but typically of water. It's just water. And it's like my Xanax. So when I do feel a sense of anxiety, just take a drink of water. Okay, subconscious mind, I don't know what's going on, but I don't need this. There's nothing happening. I could be watching a movie or a comedy or just doing my social media or working on my website. No reason that I have any kind of anxiety. And I don't know what it's coming up for. You know what? You process, you go away, because I'm not dealing with it. And it really does just go away from me. I'm not trying to suppress it. I don't know what you're there for. You either show your face, tell me what it is, or just go, because you don't need to be there. Maybe it's trying to just poke at me to how things used to be. Because, growing up broke, it's real easy. It would be so easy for me to go back to being broke and living in fight or flight. I mean, take me a minute, because I know how I live without fight or flight. And I like this way of living, and it's becoming my comfort zone. Slowly, helpfully, well, probably more rapidly than most. So anyway, that's my quick take, a little tidbit on law of attraction. And just some thoughts about anxiety. And remember, the definition of anxiety, typically what I learned was it's negative emotions wrapped around a future expectation or event. And it could be 10 minutes from now or 2 years from now. But if you're thinking about it, it creates anxiety. Think past it. 10, 15 minutes past it. How will you feel when it's over? Typically you feel relieved. Now that's an emotion. You can live in that emotion. Live in that emotion. And if you live in that emotion, you can move that emotion to now, from the future to the now, and still be in that, living in that. Oh yeah, I can live in relief before it even starts. And he doesn't even know where to go. Can't live there. Anyway, that's it. I will be back. I'm going to be helping a bunch of colleagues this evening in about an hour. And I'm back on Zoom. So whoever's here, I hope to see you there. Take care and have an amazing weekend. It's 2-year, I guess, anniversary with my boyfriend. We're going to go play. Take care, and we'll see you next week, or yeah, next week for a tour of my new office. Bye now.